I got no notification yet, but it says we're
It's
live.
fucking YouTube, dude. They don't notify anybody for shit.
But they'll notify you of people you weren't subscribed to.
We're live. Yeah. And we're live. Welcome back to another Sugoi Boyz. Hey, Kobe. Yeah, I know. 6 minutes late. Good to see you guys. And this is gonna be a special one. At some point, I'm like, because we're talking about a very special thing. But as always, with me are J-Chip, the J-Chip Show, and Dread. And
it's been a while since we did a trio.
Yeah, it's been a while.
This might as well not be 3 though, because Justin, you didn't keep up with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Because all right, so spoiler for the latter half of this is going to be us talking about, as you can see from the title, talking about the wonderful anime.
Well, Do you okay.
And so combo attack.
This is actually a kind of different stream, because if you think about it, we're going to go through the shows that we watched, and the shows we've watched are, for the most part, this one.
Yes, you're not wrong. Hey, Sweet Pea. All right.
So, is there anything that you watched that wasn't this?
Yes.
Miasma? Okay.
Yes. Vinland Saga.
Okay, well, we know you've been watching that. I've been watching Dr. Stone.
Which, believe it or not, Vinland Saga is a little different than Isekai. It's a little bit of a different.
Yeah, I believe that.
And Kimetsu no Yaiba season 1 wrapped up this weekend.
I already get started on that soon.
How was the ending?
Interesting, and there's also further news that there's going to be a movie.
Yeah, I got that notification. We're getting a movie.
A movie instead of before season 2?
Not a confirmed season 2, but a movie that's covering the next arc.
That's weird.
Yeah. That's very odd. Hey, Osiris. I don't get... I mean, I don't read the manga, so I don't know, like, what... And this next arc seems pretty important. Because the last few episodes were basically sort of like training and like recovery sort of episodes to the main guy, like continuing his journey and taking like another step. And yeah. So it seems like you would make the journey he's about to embark on seems like it would be like multiple episodes. I don't know how this is going to be 2 hours.
It could be a 3-hour movie.
Maybe it's gonna be one of those like 3-parters,
like multiple movies.
Yeah, but it's just weird. It's interesting because it's UFO table. So like I want to see that on a movie budget.
Did that with Heaven's Feel.
Okay, so that's what they're doing then. I didn't know that that's what they did with that.
Do you think it's going to be the same quality as Kar no Kyokai?
No. Oh,
the movie at least.
Who knows? Kar no Kyokai, I feel like it's special, but I don't know how much of that staff is really still producing stuff.
And I mean, even though Kar no Kyokai looks so great, I think every entry that UFO Table does,
it's just gonna get put up against it.
Well, no, because I don't think Kar no Kyokai is the best looking thing they've made. I think everything they make is visually appealing in different ways.
Okay. I'd agree with that.
I can see that, yeah. Even God Eater is appealing to some people.
Well, that's kind of like an outlier.
Hey, Bob Samurai watched God Eater recently. For reasons unknown.
I kind of want to play the game. The game looks fun.
So Vinland Saga was Vinland Saga. Kimetsu no Yaiba, that happened. I didn't watch this week's Dr. Stone. But I'm assuming you did, Dread.
Yeah, of course I did.
Was there anything else, or you just been keeping track of other seasonal things?
Literally just Dr. Stone. I have to get back to reading more Naruto and Isekai Mom.
Isekai Mom. He's the only one here actually who has truly finished Isekai Mom. At least I think finished. I think it's done at 12.
I would hope it's done at 12.
I've seen episodes 1 through 11, but I watched it. I was a good old boy, and I watched it on the Crunchy Rolls, and I also don't pay, so I don't give them any of my money. So I couldn't watch the newest episode, but I will, and not because the show's good, but we'll get to that. J-Chip, what have you watched?
So I finished Squid Girl season 1 again, and that video got taken down by TV Tokyo, so I got to redo it. And I might do it in like the miasma fashion, where I just sit in front of the camera and talk about the show.
Don't do that.
The miasma fashion.
Because I can't use clips, so I can't do that. But Squid Girl was amazing. It was a good show.
You're right. I've never gotten a copyright strike.
Yeah.
Weird.
I started Lord Marksman and the Vanities. I think that's how you pronounce it. But like, that show would be amazing if you're 14 and horny, because there's tits all over the place. If you don't know, it's a Isekai fantasy show back in 2014.
So hold on. You skipped out an Isekai Mom, but we watched some kind of marksman Isekai show?
Well, blame Warpbait for making me watch it.
I do. I 100% blame Warpbait.
Speaking of Warpbait, you should blame him for the next thing, is that I am now reading One Piece.
Well, that sounds like a you problem, because you didn't keep up with us.
Yeah, man. We both sacrificed to a lot of. We procrastinated on chunks of Isekai Mom and powered through it for tonight. You know how below average that was?
I saw 22 minutes of that show.
Episode 1, I would say, is like not that awful.
22 minutes doesn't prepare you for what Isekai Mom is.
It really does not get into its like stride until
Miasma, can you put up the image that I sent you on screen? Are you able to do that with StreamYard?
I don't think so.
I thought we figured out you were able to do something like that.
I think I had put something in chat at one point, but I don't know if I put something on screen. But Isekai Mom doesn't hit its stride, dude, until episode 2. Because episode 2 is something. Okay, fuck it. We gotta, back this train up. So for anybody watching who doesn't know what we're talking about, which I'm gonna assume is many people, there's an anime called "Do You Love Her Mom?" Do you love her mom?
Do you love your mom and her 2-hit multi-target attacks?
Surprise! It's adapted from a light novel. 8 volumes. That's still going, apparently. And it has a 2-volume manga that's also going. Wonderful. I'm glad this is getting so much attention. From JC's staff, and it's I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's not the best work JC staff has ever put out there. But it is essentially an isekai story where a teenage kid goes into a video game, but before you think that this is generic, it's not, because he's followed in by his MILF mom, who is very.
She doesn't look like it. She doesn't look like a mom. I'll give her that.
She looks way younger than I assume she is. But she follows him. She's very, very close, or wants to be very, very close with her son. Okay, here we go.
Is it sharing properly? Can you read it?
Yeah, I can. So this girl exists. And this should just be every stream just looks like this.
But I want to focus on the dialogue.
I refuse to admit that moms even exist. If anything, if you take nothing away from this podcast, I want you to ingrain this image into your mind and ingrain this fucking line and her little and her tiger-esque sleeve and her weird little hair bun thing. Yeah. So that happened. But that's not the mom. So, all right. So it's the Isekai thing where at the beginning of it, he's taking this like fucking survey about like how his relationship with his mom or something is, and then this fucking purple-haired lady shows up at his house, and there's like weird wordplay.
Shirase.
I don't understand they make like these weird wordplay jokes with her name, and it's like a running gag, but I don't understand, and they don't put a translation note. I don't think so. I don't fucking get what's going on.
I didn't get because she always like there was Shirase.
She works for this like game company, and they're making some fucking. It's not just an MMO.
It's like an MMMMMORPG, and every M stands for something.
And she's like, "Oh, do you want to go live in this video game world?" And he's like, fucking yeah, sure. And so he goes to do it, and his mom like walks into the room, and she's like, "Oh, worried about it." She's like, she wants to be very close with him. She's very loving. Some would say probably getting close to crossing the line, but I don't think that's really her intention. I think that's sort of how the audience and the main character might perceive it. Personality-wise, she's kind of like a mom.
She's pure. She's pure.
She's pure of mind, but her actions sometimes are questionable. Just like she follows him into this video game world, and it turns out that this game is set up so that way players can grow a better relationship with their mothers. An MMORPG about getting closer with your mom. And not only that, the real kicker of the show, because it'd be no one would pay attention to it at that point. Everyone would think it's a normal show of what I just described. But it turns out that this is, it's an MMO game, and it's fucking swords and knights and magic and priestesses and fucking all this shit, dragons and
priests that can turn into dragons.
Yeah. And it turns out that his mom is OP as fuck. She has 2 swords that are insanely strong, and she can kill. She's fucking Saitama in this fucking world, except with 2. All of her attacks are basically 2-hit combo attacks, whereas the main character just shoots like this thing into the sky. She has 2 guns. She gains abilities like every fucking episode.
Well, they're called mom skills.
She has mom skills, such as like mom's light and like mom's touch and mom's awakening and like all related to the sun, or they're helping out the group or whatever. And the kid is like he's a fucking normie player. Turns out there's several test players in the game, with moms of varying relationship.
And varying moral compasses.
Yep. There's a lot of titties.
What about those white bars in episode 2? An uncensored version of this show exists somewhere.
Oh, I guarantee it.
It's going to be on Blu-ray for like $100.
So, Mr. J Chip, I want to know. You saw episode 1.
I did.
What were your? Because yours is your idea of the show is going to be the easiest, I think, to describe.
Sure.
What do you think about? Do you love her mom? I keep doing that. Do you love your mom and her 2-hit combo attacks?
It was pretty generic. I was expecting something a lot awful. Like I was expecting Garzy's wing bad, but it wasn't Garzy's wing bad. So I was a little disappointed.
I didn't think it was going to be Garzy's wing bad.
So it's funny you say that. There's a point in the show that actually reminded me of Garzy's wing.
With the fairies?
Yeah.
No, not with the fairies.
Actually.
Miasma, how he starts... You'll know exactly where I'm going with this. You know how he always complains about his mom's multi-target attacks?
Yeah.
It's like the one guy... always talking about how sharp his sword is.
My sword is unbelievably dull. Yeah, because it really is.
I was thinking more so how the people he always faces are talking about their swords being good, and then Chris, our Lord Chris, is always complaining about his.
Oh my god! All right, so you didn't think it was? You were expecting Garzy's wing, Justin.
I was.
And you
I was expecting something to be like. I was expecting something to be really bad, like so bad it was good.
Do you like? What are your thoughts on Mamako?
She's all right. She's like a watered down.
That's the mom's name, by the way. Is literally Mamako. I'm telling the audience because they're not gonna fucking care. They're not gonna know. Mamako. Everything. Many things in this anime, by the way, are mom related.
Yeah.
The town of Mammon. The milk of Mammon.
The girl that picks up the items refers to her as is it like Mama-san or like
the currency is literally called Mom.
So what do you think about Mamako, Justin?
She's like a watered down version of Delia. Like, let's be real.
Delia Ketchum?
Yeah, from Pokemon.
Watered down. I wouldn't say watered down. She's also way more involved in the story. She is the story.
Yeah,
Delia Ketchum's not the story.
You can't really water down somebody that's the focus. You know, if you're taking Delia Ketchum, who is one of the most minor of minor characters, right? I don't think Mamako is the watered down version of her when Mamako is the story.
I'm talking about personality wise.
I don't think their personalities are the same.
I mean, then again, I only watched one episode, so she could be like Yagami in like episode 12.
That's a far stretch. Like Yagami, no.
She doesn't change very much.
See, Delia, where Mamako doesn't have it, Mamako is okay with everything that happens. Delia will put her foot down.
Oh, hey, Light. Only got up to the episode where the blue chick turns into a dragon. Yeah, but you never dropped so you have to finish it. Never wanted to see dragon tits. Yeah, that was an interesting design choice. Maternia. That's the name. Maternia. But I can sort of see what you're saying in terms of like her attitude is all about care for her kid.
Yeah.
And it's like that's like she has like through these, I mean, I only saw 11 episodes, but I'm going to go on a limb and say through these 12 episodes, she doesn't really have much like personality.
I mean, none of the characters really do.
That's fair. I mean, she has two giant personalities, but that's an entirely different thing, which the show emphasizes a lot, by the way. There's an abundant,
I don't think Delia Ketchum would allow Ash to do what Masato does to Mamako in episode 2 because of the slime.
Episode 2. There's a lot of fan service in the show, and I'm going to be honest with you. I was discussing this with Dredd before this. And J-Chip, I highly encourage you to at least watch episode 2, even though we're going to tell you what happens. But you have... So, episode 1, like, it's not great, but, like, I didn't think it was, like, that
bad.
Ridiculous. It just seemed, like, corny. Like, it just seemed like... I was fine with that. It's weird that the mom's introduced with, like, her titties shaking. Like, that's the first shot that she's in, by the way. She's doing dishes and humming as she does. And she's, like, or cooking. And the shot that introduces her, the kid's doing a survey at, like, a table. And fucking the camera is just at her chest. And it's, like, rocking back and forth. And, of course, physics are physics in anime. But in episode 2 takes a dramatic turn because of major upgrades in the fan service department. Where they finally paid attention to animating the lack of a character's clothing. Where the clothes of one Mamako literally get melted off while her son is on top of her, and they were fighting slimes, so it's all like slippery, and he can't get off of her, and he struggles to get off of her, and there's a lot of physical contact,
and a lot of white censoring.
Yeah,
nice white light.
Clothes on. They also go in hot springs pretty often, also with no clothes. Also, the sun is in the same hot spring, 3 feet away from his naked mom, by the way, and the other girls. Because not only do we have these characters, we got Masato. Just type in random, you get transported to video game world. So we get Masato, who's the son, who is often embarrassed of his mom, even though his mom just is she's like a cool mom, I guess. Then there's Mamako, his mom, who fucking follows him into this weird video game world. Then we have to form a party, and this party, the first person introduced is
Porta.
What
does she even do anyway? Let's be honest.
I also need to ask this because I forget if it's ever talked about. Where's her mom?
I don't think they go into her parents. I don't remember them saying anything about her parents.
The MMO is about moms. Where's fucking Porta's mom?
Because Porta just kind of joins, and then they skip straight to the next character's arc.
Porta literally does not a lot.
She just exists. I feel like she just exists.
I don't play MMOs, so I don't know if you can actually can you actually play like that? So she's a non-combat character. She is only she has a really huge inventory bag, and she basically just takes all of the items and has and can make she can craft stuff. So she can make remedies for stuff. If you have debuff kind of shit, she can give you this food thing or drink thing, and it'll
she did a hell of a lot of that.
And then they usually kill a monster, and the monsters usually drop a bunch of rubies or something, and she just goes and
goes and picks them up and puts them in the crate.
She's a little kawaii fucking lolly pink hair girl. So of course it just animates her walking up there and going picking up all these little rubies. That's basically all she does, and her mom is never introduced, and which is weird. Then there's Wise, which is an odd name.
Mage. Wise the mage.
Who is clearly, and the show even fucking references this, is mentioning this in the same paragraph is awful. Is comparable to Lena Inverse from the Slayers. And I say that barely out of my lips.
Let me get this clip. Let me get the clip of this. Hold on.
Anyone who's seen the Slayers, which I don't think is a lot of people.
I haven't. I want to, though, because it looks awesome.
It's good. I've only seen season 1.
Okay, so this is the actual scene.
That's Lena from the Slayers, for anybody that...
So let's be honest. That looks like it was taken straight out of Slayers. And a black bar was put right over Lena's eyes.
I'm pretty sure it is. It might be... I think JC Staff might actually did the Slayers.
I think they did, yeah.
Hold on.
I have no idea why everyone's watching this, Axel. I haven't. I only watched episode 1. But these two watched more than episode 1.
It's E&G Films, which I don't know what that is. So... Oh, no, wait. JC Staff did the OVA. So JC Staff did... Yeah, so it's they're similar vein. So... all right. So Wise is the mage character. She's basically a ripoff of Lena, and very often gets her magic shut off and stuff. But she's a tsundere. She's fucking, I like how she doesn't only slap the main character. She literally will kill him
and bring him back to life.
And they can revive you.
I will chain cast death spells on you.
She literally kills him. Even for mentioning the word washing, what's it called? The washing board? Because she has small tits. So she thinks that she's referring to her
Wise. So about Wise. it's less. There's less to say about her than there is her mom, because her mom is a literal piece of human trash.
Yeah, who looks nothing like her, by the way. At least in the
So, well, the original form of her does when she has the orange hair, but when she looks like the Queen of Darkness or whatever she's supposed to be. Can we talk about how the mom literally uses her sons as like slaves and sex objects?
If you want to go there, yeah.
Because that's pretty explicitly stated.
All right, so the show's about like the players and their mothers, right? Well, Wise, the fucking, what is she, sage or something? Is a fucking
some mage class.
Yeah, she's magic. Her mom and her got into a dispute and didn't go along that well in the real world, it seemed, either. They get into a dispute in the game. They separate, and Wise goes on her own and basically joins up with Masato and his mom. And she's very tsundere, so she's not willing to apologize right away. But her mom is a bitch anyway, and kind of is using this world to basically make her own like male harem of and basically this is like, she's like, oh, this is like a vacation for her from the real world, and she doesn't.
And I think she said that daughters are useless.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least she didn't say moms didn't exist like that. I call BS over the powers of the game. The Wise Mom gets hot, dude, and uses them as furniture. She does. She uses men as furniture.
Remember the little thing she was going off on? She's like, "Ooh, the abs, the abs."
What else is there? Oh, so there's no like real overarching villain.
I guess the closest overarching villain you have is the yellow-haired girl. And even then, she's only introduced like
in episode 10 or something.
Yeah,
I say the writers are the villains because they're the ones that write the show.
That's true. You're your own villain for watching. Yeah. Oh, there's also you don't get this until episode like 6 or 7, but there's another member of the party, sort of my favorite asterisk, Medi.
The medic,
which for some reason just made me think of Meaty from Made in Abyss, so it made me sad. So Medi is a healer, and there's this weird fucking arc where like they go to this like school.
They see this flyer and they're like, it can't just be a coincidence that they're offering 3 items we really, really want at this school.
So they go to the school. Everybody besides Mamako. Oh, by the way, the entire time Mamako keeps fucking Saitama-ing everything that they need to fight. So the kid is really like, he's like, wow, this sucks. Like my mom's just doing everything. Because she kills everything. And so they go to this school for this arc with like some like NPCs and some real world players. One of them is Medi, who's a healer, and her mom is this bitch.
Medi Mama.
That's her name. Medi Mama, who I prefer Medi's mom. She's more comically evil and more enjoyable to watch.
She's still a terrible person. For a show that's trying to pass on the message of become closer with your parents, love them, Wise's and Medi's moms are terrible people.
Just complete contrast of Mamako. The healer girl's mom basically wants her kid to be like perfect and pushes her really hard to the point where basically she's like, and Medi isn't very upfront about not liking what her mom is doing to her and kind of just goes along with it. But when she's not like under her breath, like talks shit. And that fucking just spurs into chaos. And long story short, this healer girl with the blue hair girl with large personalities turns into a dragon, which kept its personalities. The animators decided that, hey, man, not only is this chick going to become a dragon, we're going to anatomically make sure that you are aware that this used to be a girl with tits. So they kept that in, but that fucking gets lost. So Mamako, comes saves the day, reminds them that, you should have a close relationship, mother and daughter, and fucking power of love fucking, comes into play here. And then bitch mom completely flips her fucking ideals. And so then Medi joins the party. But now Medi becomes a cooler character after this because Medi is like more open about the duality of her personality, where it's like she is very nice and has a thing for Masato, and Masato likes her. And to be honest, she's like probably
the only decent character.
Okay, I'm gonna get into that in a moment. But okay, but I want to talk about the dual, the personality of Medi is that she's fucking so really nice healer character, but she's also kind of like a cold bitch, and she only unveils that more after she has joined the party, and she's very against anything that Wise does, because Wise, I think that's supposed to be set up as a love triangle thing.
It didn't succeed too much as one,
because they don't really develop Wise actually having feeling for Masato, besides randomly she wants to be carried by him and stuff. But so Wise, I love Lena Inverse and the Slayers, I love my redhead anime girls. However, she's not nearly as hot as that. Yeah, there you go. But she's also not hot. She's too lolly-ish. But I like her character design. Medi, is the best looking girl of the show, but then I like the character design more of Wise. I kind of wish it was flopped. The tsundere aspect is kind of annoying, but they don't really develop Wise all that much. They literally introduce Wise, say she does this magic, she gets one or two okay looking spells, and then the rest of the time she's silenced. Porta picks up shit, doesn't do anything else. The mom's overpowered. The kid has one attack, and in 12 episodes, in the episodes that I saw, does his attack 3 times.
I'm gonna use the firmament.
So you're saying that he's the Shippo of that group?
Shippo's probably stronger.
I want to see that death battle next.
And then you get Medi, who's very talented, and is a healer, but she's also pretty strong.
Whacking people with their staff.
Yeah. And then we are introduced to another baddie. We're introduced to what the fuck is her name? Blonde girl who doesn't believe that moms exist. Amarte. It's some weird like that.
Amante, I think. Her name didn't stick for me.
Because she has the shittiest arc in the whole show. I was so fucking turned off by the time this comes around. So after this, they graduate the school, by the way, in 3 days. So now they're done with the magic school or whatever the fuck they were doing there. And next in their journey, they have this whole ordeal with this gang kind of deal.
Yeah, Rebel.
Called Rebel. Who are led by Amarte, whatever her name is.
Led by this bitch.
Yeah, this bitch. Who wears weird tiger stockings, and is very clumsy. She's also introduced, by the way. She has this mini speech, then slips down a staircase, exposing her panties. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. Wise's first deep conversation with Masato, they're sitting on a hillside, and the wind blows up, and her panties are in his face, and she gets mad at him for that because that makes sense. But anyway, So
I mean, there was also that time where Wise fell over and Masato fell on top of her, and he was like arched over her backside, so it looked like he was on top of her.
Yeah.
And Mamako walked in and said, "Why didn't you tell me you two were dating?"
That's how she reacted. That's how the mom reacted. Yep. But many characters are introduced with panty shots. Yeah, dude, moms aren't real. Anybody who's told you that they're real, it's a farce. But so this other character's just been, and I can't really fucking tell you what the fuck. Besides her, like her, I don't really understand her actions with like this gang, but they're not
good.
Nobody's really strong against Mamako to begin with, and then eventually we find out that her goal was to make
moms
this wish,
disappear,
to make some wish. And it would be to make moms disappear.
So in this arc, they're going to like this tower dungeon that they have to work their way up.
Of course.
At the top of the tower, there's a stone that will grant somebody a wish.
Completely different from a Dragon Ball.
So it's funny you bring Dragon Ball up because I literally, the way the wish goes out in episode 12, I thought back to Goku's first wish with the Dragon Balls when he wishes for the underwear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I burst out laughing during that. But the way they work the wish in episode 12 is so dumb. So they make it up literally right after that scene that I'm showing where she says moms don't exist. She fights Mamako. Mamako like hits her with something and she runs away. They chase her up to the top floor and she runs up to this stone and she's like, I need to make my wish now. And she very slowly, I wish moms. And there's some earlier scene in the show where they're talking about eggs. And Masato, he recites something that Mamako said about eggs earlier in the show, about how she wants everybody to have a serving of eggs. So the wish is granted, and Mamako now has a dozen eggs in her hands. In the carton. So the villain, if you want to call her that, sees that the wish was used up, turns away, runs away, crying.
Yeah. We forgot, there's another personality quirk of hers, and I actually thought this was moderately funny, is that she has these like dramatic speeches where she completely gives away her like intention, but then talks about how like that's like top secret. So she's like, yeah, we're doing this crazy plot where we actually so it's like we actually sent assassins to your place and you're not even there, so they're going to attack Mamako, but you're never going to know that because I'm never going to tell you. So it's like something along those lines that happens. The show did make me laugh a few times. Like early on, there's a like when they first go into the world, there's a scene where, and Justin, you've seen this in episode 1, where they're talking to like this king guy who's describing the game, and they're talking about like generic MMO things, and obviously like the mom is a mom, so she like they're talking about like the menu, like there's like a pull down menu, and she like misunderstands and thinks that they're talking about like a food menu. So I mean that's kind of funny, but I mean it's just so, the show is so buried in okay, so that's everything that happens. Let's go into like, Justin, how do you think episode 1 looked?
It looked very standard, honestly. It didn't like.
Okay, do you think it looked better in the show or in the opening?
I even think the opening was kind of meh. like visually.
No, the opening sucked, but I
It
still
did.
think the opening looked better than the show.
Oh, it did. Like it was totally like they put all their budget into that opening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then there's the fan service shots later on.
Of course.
So actually, the opening is a good thing. I like the song. I think the song is okay.
I like the first half of the song.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm trying to. I think I might like the latter half better. I like when it picks up more.
When I start hearing that dame 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 dame, get out.
But I don't know. I thought it was, but it does. It also like is like it's probably one of the worst animated OPs I've ever seen because a lot of it is just like
images of the characters.
It's just still shots, or like instead of like actually animating them moving, it literally just like slides them. Like there's a lot of like the kid like going to move and the mom just like follows him. And they literally just have the character model like fucking like South Park just like sliding across the screen. Also, you know what's I want to bring this up. What do you guys think about the character's eyes?
I didn't pay too much attention to the eyes.
They look weird. Like just Google, like just pull up a picture of the like how she like I just think it's weird how like they did like the like she just has this like purple I think they're purple like purple eyes with just like this huge white. It's a very like how do I describe this? Like circular fucking iris, whatever the fuck that's called, people. It's just weird.
Oh, like the white.
It looks like
the white in the middle.
Her eyes look like targets. They look like mini like. It looks. I imagine like I'm seeing like a tiny army of archers going to like shoot arrows at her eyes.
I see what you're talking about.
I've never seen a character. I've never seen like character designs that look like that. And like the majority of the characters have eyes similar.
No, like you're not the only one. I just like the song.
The song's okay. The animation is fucking shit. And then in the show, it's also the fucking backgrounds are.
Oh yeah, the backgrounds are awful.
Okay, so they take them. This is supposed to be some fucking crazy MMO, right? All of the worlds are just like either just grass or like this really stood out to me. There's a scene in episode 1 where they're talking to the king guy. The scene I said that was kind of funny. And they're supposed to be in this like palace. But it's just a fucking like white room. Like it's just there's like a fucking like green shit colored carpet and just like a chair.
I also found it funny going off of that they didn't choose any like extreme locations to go to. It was like we're out in the prairie, we're in a dungeon, we're at a school, we're on a tower. There was no volcanoes or glaciers, you know?
What did you expect? You know, it's a fucking... What do you think this was? A fucking...
SAO had an icy mountain.
What do you think? This is a real MMO? No, this is fucking... This is War of the Immortals shit. Fucking... So there's like a... Also, the monsters are awful. You could also say what monsters?
The slimes.
Well, that, or there's also... I swear to God, they recycle... Someone could probably like look into this. I think they recycle this group of monsters from like the OP into like 2 episodes in the show, because there's a couple scenes where Momoko literally, she has these 2 swords and she literally just like with the move, like she just moves one sword and she fucking kills like everything, and like it's just an army of like crazy big monster guys. And she does it in the OP, and then you know
she does it in the arena too.
She does the mom look, and then like she does it in like 2 more episodes in the show, and I'm pretty sure it's like the same. Like the monsters look like relatively the same, So it's like a big bear guy with armor, and they don't move or anything. They don't like attack. It's just like the show introduces you to this big group of characters, and then Mamako kills them in one slash. There's never a threat. It's never like, oh my god, like it's never like. Go ahead.
What's your favorite part about the show, both of you?
The fact that I got through it.
It's not like it's. I guess this is gonna make sense, but the fact that I've seen worse things, it's not like.
Would you rather watch this or School Days?
Depends on like. Can I just watch the last episode of School Days?
The first episode of this and the last episode of School Days together.
Sure.
Maybe you could watch the school arc of this and the last episode of School Days.
I mean, I actually
like the characters' faces on the characters in School Days.
I forgot to mention this too. In one of the big battles in the later half of the big. That's the other thing. There isn't really like big battles because none of them really matter. No, and it's not in a. It's like the same could be said with like. I mean, I didn't see the newest season of One Punch Man, but like the meme of One Punch Man is that he kills everything in like one hit. Ergo, the fights aren't really fights. That's the joke. All right. That's
right, but
it's funny.
At least in One Punch Man, most of the fights are somebody else versus the monster, and they basically try to show that fight for what it is until Saitama gets there and just ends it.
And everything he fights is relatively interesting looking.
Light says it's easier to watch than the regular Magic High School.
I
agree with that. I agree with him on that.
I'm never going to watch that show.
So, but the thing is, he says it's easier to watch, but he's forgetting that this is half of the length of that show. So, if this show were 24 episodes, would the same still be true?
Would you watch it if it gets another season?
Hell no.
I
would have to be really bored.
Yeah, there's just a lot of other things I'd rather watch. I mean, no, I guess not. Somebody could just, this would be like a better like hentai, but just with him and the girls, not his mom.
It really would. Like, they might as well have just made it one.
Pretty much, it is literally like it's that genre of show that like Giga was talking about. It is where it's just like this is just like low tier hentai. This is just like shit hentai. This is just hentai without the good stuff. Because I want to mention, in one of the last battles, when they're confronting the blonde girl and her like gang group, they, of course, this happens. They step on a trap, or like trigger a trap somehow that takes off your armor in this, and of course, your armor is your clothing. Except for, they have like underwear on. And so where they have this whole scene where like they're having this dialogue with the villain and have this emotional like discussion about like the relationship between parents and kids. All the while, Mamako and the cast are in their underpants. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, what? Like, I don't understand. It's just frustrating. It just didn't have to do that. It didn't. Episode 2 with the girl it didn't, because like if the show was like episode 1, I might watch a season 2. But I feel like they were not confident that people would give a shit if it was like episode 1.
I feel like, and judging based off of how the show looks, for how unanimated it is, I feel like JC staff looked at this and they're like, This is gonna be some hot garbage. Let's not even put a lot of effort into this and just get it done.
I mean, hey, they got the next Food Wars, so they got to save their budget somehow.
I mean, this has 8 light novels somehow.
I'm sure those aren't very good either.
Since 2017. How dare you, sir? Mr. Dachima Inaka, who doesn't have a Wikipedia page, is a legend.
I'm sure he has a My Anime List page, though.
He probably does. But it's just, if the rest of the show was like episode 1, maybe. But the fact that it went down episodes 2 route and it's just buried in like stupid fan service and it doesn't really. Okay, after watching 12 episodes, Dread, what do you feel like any accomplishment in the show occurred? Is there anything like?
So I feel like there was nothing accomplished, and I feel like we're gonna have to watch the OVA that's coming out at the end of March.
Holy shit!
Which shows Shirase.
We can't get Half-Life 3, but we fucking get an OVA to goddamn. Do you like your mom and her titties? Like,
the cover art is Shirase and Mamako in bunny girl suits. I think this might be an OVA for Harry Lolly.
So yeah, Demon Slayer is gonna have a movie. In bunny girl suits. Why don't we just bring fucking Why don't we just bring 02 and Mikasa, and we'll just bring every like waifu in.
Axel says, "What are we watching next season?"
Ooh,
well, Food Wars. I'm definitely doing Food Wars.
I'm gonna watch the new Seven Deadly Sins, except it's not animated by A1 Pictures. It's animated by Studio Dean instead of A1 Pictures.
I haven't really looked at what's coming out.
So My Hero Academia season 4. I haven't seen season 3. There's your Food Wars. There's another Sword Art Online.
The wrestler Isekai anime looks funny.
There's another Seven Deadly Sins. There's a Psychopaths 3. But
yeah, that's right.
I heard a rumor that this is like by the people that did 2. So
we'll figure out. It says it's only going to be 8 episodes, which is really weird.
There's another Fate.
I could give a shit less.
There's another Chihaya Furu, which I haven't seen any of that. A lot of sequels.
Oh yeah, Chihaya Furu is awesome.
Mean, there's always a lot of sequels.
Well, from what I've read so far. Assassin's Pride, wherever that is. Is Inspector airing? I guess, hold on. No, it might not be like. There's a show called Inspector. But it's spelled in like a really dumb meme way. It's like IN like fucking.
We should watch Extra Large Joshi.
Extra Large Joshi.
Yeah, you'll see that on the list eventually.
God damn it. Extra Large, where is this? Beastars looks horrifying to me because I hate anthropomorphic animals. I'm not.
So does African Salary Man.
Grand Blue Fantasy, I've been meaning to watch season 1 because I have a poster of it from Japan. And I kind of like this blue hair girl.
Yeah, it was all right. I still dropped it though.
There's a show called Pet, which has a very insane description that I heard about in a video that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. What am I supposed to be looking for?
Extra Large Joshi.
Is it actually like written as that on Mal?
XL Joshi.
XL Joshi. Running short of money, office lady Saki is introduced to a part-time job where she's tasked with reviewing extra-large size condoms. Yep. While receiving an escort home after a night of drinking, Saki's demon boss, Kisuke, notices that he's carrying a large quantity of condom. What? Saki explains her circumstances. Kisuke reveals that he is XL size. A romance between the two thus begins.
When does it end?
The studio, by the way. Dredd, do you have it pulled up? Because I want you to
Magic Bus.
Who could forget Studio Magic Bus, who has given us... Apparently they worked on... you see the first thing on their page? Apparently the first thing that they are credited for is Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
They had to have been like...
And it's all like porn, I think, besides that.
Hey, they worked on the greatest anime ever made, so this thing has got to be good.
They've done several porn.
Not only the original, though. They helped work on the movies. They made Overture by themselves.
Holy shit.
Overture to a New War was made solely by Magic Bus.
When does this thing come out?
This season.
I know, but like, what's the date?
It seems like
October 7.
Okay. We should do like our first impression.
It's probably not even going to get like subbed. That's like well, maybe it will. There's been like a weird.
They also did the Urusei Yatsura OVA.
There's been a weird trend of these like. Did you actually talk about this? Where they have these like almost porn shows. Isekai Mom is sort of almost that, but they don't actually fuck. But there's been shows like about like where there's that one about the redhead girl and the priest guy.
There's one about a girl that her sister's doing like bad in school, so they look alike, but she's like 10 years older than her sister, so she instead goes to high school posing as the sister, and a teacher figures out, and then they start fucking.
I mean, as a tradition. There's another one with firemen. That was this last season. Not Fire Force, but...
Fire Force is cool.
I have not seen any of Fire Force. Maybe at some point. They made Mad Bull 34, the classic.
It's definitely a show that I would rather binge than watch weekly.
Fire Force?
Yeah. I would not watch Soul Eater week by week.
I've only seen gifs of fan service on the show, sadly.
Yeah. When Kimetsu no Yaiba gets dubbed, I'll watch it.
It's coming to
Magic Bus looks like they went from some serious stuff, like a lot of it, to just straight up porn.
There is an anime called Inspector, Inspectre, that I've seen a clip for back in June, and as far as I know, it hasn't aired just yet. January 2020, so it'll be a winter. Fuck. It's from Brainspace. So, and it's IN/Spectre because that's the cool way to do stuff. So eventually I might check that out. Maybe I'll catch up on My Hero just to make Light happy.
Well, we got to catch up on it. We go watch season 3 and then season 4 when it airs. And then we got to bring him in when season 5 happens. Because he said season 5 was the make or break point for him, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it's going to last 5 seasons. Then it hits the break point. Let me tell you, Isekai Mom hit the break point way before season 5.
I told him the day he drops an anime, he will come to this podcast and it will be the greatest podcast episode we've ever done.
Well, now he can't drop Isekai Mom. He has to knock out the rest of Isekai Mom, which was done after episode 2. So what would you... All right. Dread, what would you give Isekai Mom at it? What is your Mal score for Isekai Mom?
All right, so
I think we all
first off.
Yeah, go ahead.
First off, when we brought it up, we were like, "It's a 5."
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be much higher because I thought people that were watching this liked this.
let me see what it's currently at. 5.83 for 20,000 users.
I think that's actually kind of fair. It doesn't necessarily see the bottom of the barrel. You're really reaching when you go at things like Skelter Heaven, Pupa. Some of that stuff is genuinely just so bad, and it's not even so bad, it's good. Then you got stuff like Inferno Cop and Garzy's Wing, which are awful, but hilariously awful. I would put it somewhere probably, like, because it didn't do anything necessarily terrible. It just didn't do anything good. Somewhere between a 4 and a 5 is probably where I would put it.
I'd say 4. I'm gonna say 4 because if we're gonna say like, I would say it's below average. It is not like it's not a show where like I look at it and it's just like, okay, this is just vanilla fucking bullshit show, because it's not that good, but it's also not like 1 out of 10 bad. So
see, but the thing is, there were some genuinely good moments in the show.
Yeah,
where few and far between they were.
I like Mamako.
Like one character, yeah. I mean, you like Medi. You like Medi.
I like Medi too. I like her. I actually like Wise to an extent. Like the scenes that made me laugh were some of her tsundere shit. Some of the time, I like. It's kind of funny when like her magic gets shut off and she doesn't. Like they keep.
Not after like the 3rd time though.
Yeah, Porta keeps like. So like Wise keeps getting her magic turned off by like villains' abilities, and everybody knows it in the party. But then Porta will just like blatantly say like, "Oh, Wise's magic is shut off because she got trapped by this blah 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 thing." It's just stating the obvious.
And she's like, everybody already knows that.
But and Masato, like, I mean, he's not the guy from Sword Art Online.
So I mean, I really think the show could have been better if even if they changed up some of just the cringy dialogue, it would bring the show up. I think just some of the dialogue choices, moms don't exist.
I think if the show actually had an antagonist.
Yeah, that too.
I feel like they could have just had Wise's mom like for an extended like an extended time.
I agree. Like I prefer the
or
My Hero Academia.
Or they could have introduced this yellow-headed chick early on.
Maybe I really didn't like her.
I didn't like her either, but then there would have been an ongoing villain.
Portia's mom, whatever that is.
See, it's not Portia though; it's
Porta. Yeah, whatever. I would give it like a 4. J-Chip, after 1 episode, what would you say?
I'll get back to you on that. Out of 10.
I'll get back to you on that out of 10. I don't think that's a thing on Mel.
It is now.
I prefer the moms from My Hero Academia. Yeah, dude.
I do too.
The Ice and Fire Kids mom that like was in a hospital or like whatever the fuck happened to her.
Naruto's mom is cooler.
Naruto's mom is just him, like as a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's voiced by Laura Bailey.
You know, she says, you know, she did in the video game. That's how they like changed up.
They did it in the show as well.
That's how they finally fixed the believe it to something that actually sounds like something like somebody might say. Like there are people that say,
I wouldn't know about that because I don't deal with believe it's.
oh, because he's reading the manga. Actually, does he not say?
He did say his mom is hot. Like
he said, believe it once in the manga in a regular sentence.
Didn't Naruto say? Oh yeah, I mean Naruto's mom is okay. I mean, she is what she is, but
Ichigo's mom is cool.
She's gone.
She's a Quincy.
I never saw her. Thank you for spoiling it.
Everyone knows that. Like everyone that knows Bleach knows that she's a Quincy.
But you have to know Bleach. You just said it yourself.
And she's dead.
Okay. Yeah, she fought the fucking anglerfish guy and lost. Or she fucking got like eaten up or some shit. I don't know.
If that's what you believe.
Yeah, because I'm sorry I didn't fucking watch 907 episodes of Bleach because I stopped giving a fuck. Because it's fucking weird and dumb.
It's amazing.
It's no Inuyasha, that's for sure. You know what Bleach doesn't have? Naraku. You know what Isekai Mom doesn't have? Naraku.
You know what Bleach has? Bleach has Aizen.
Aizen. Here we go. We go. Let's have hold on. Part 2. We're doing 2 hours today because we're gonna jerk off Aizen for another hour. Here we go. Yep.
Aizen's not even my favorite villain in Bleach.
Oh, you can't even beat him. You don't even know a proper villain. They couldn't even defeat Aizen. They actually had to trap him. He's actually like undefeatable. And he actually has perfect hypnosis and can actually never quite be defeated by any ability. As Naraku was actually defeated mostly because he was in love with Kikyo. And he was basically doing everything out of spite, whereas Aizen wouldn't really be doing that because Aizen is actually above that. He's actually on a different echelon of characterization that you don't seem to understand. You objectively and subjectively are incorrect. I've heard it all before.
Okay, real talk. Yuha Bach is better than Aizen. Every Bleach fan needs to understand that.
The Band of Seven is better than Aizen.
I will agree that. I actually do agree.
Band of Seven is great. But you know what's not great is Isekai Mom.
Bankotsu is my favorite Inuyasha character.
Bankotsu?
Oh, yeah.
I want to recommend everybody to check out Isekai Mom if this sounded like it would be something you would love. I don't think if you have things on your plan to watch list that you've been severely putting off, I don't think you should put this ahead of that. But I think it's an okay experiment show at first.
Yeah.
If you're able to laugh through it, if you're able to understand that it's like if you look at it like a meme, then look at it like High School of the Dead. Which it's the same feeling.
Yeah, that's fair.
Look at it like that. It's also, a meme on the internet. So it's
Axel says he's not watching it.
That's fine. It has a 5.8 on Mal, which is fucking abysmal. So that should say something. But do not go in expecting any fucking mind-blowing animation or characterization or anything that would remotely make it good.
I agree with Lord Kobe. I would rather watch it dubbed.
No,
I don't think a dub could help the viewing experience.
Make it worse. There's a lot of weird. There's a lot of sketchy dialogue. Okay, this show also is preying on the fucking weird mommy fetish because it is very much sexualizing the kid and there's a lot of weird physical contact and of course they animated the mom to be hot. So and she doesn't look old. And there's actually many scenes where she's in a sailor suit. She's in her 15. She's in her high school outfit. There's a literal scene where she says her name
15 years old at your
Yeah.
service.
Yep. And there's also a scene where her clothes melt off.
Yeah.
So that happens. But if any of that sounds good to you, check out Isekai Mom. And if you're watching this in the future, let me know what you think about it. As always, check out both of these guys' channels. And thank you for coming. And we hope that you liked hearing about this incredible show. Maybe whenever there's another meme dream of a show, we'll be able to all talk about it again. And maybe Justin will actually watch it next time. God damn it. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, Justin, watch the show next time.
Maybe.
That's a good note to